Welcome to All About the Game podcast in association with Clinched. You can download our podcast on all platforms every Friday. Clinched is a sports app that helps link clubs with coaches. If you were a coach in rugby, soccer or GAA and you are ready for your next role or your first role, download and sign up to Clinched app for free today.
And Leinster looking to counter here. Sean O'Brien, well, if there's one player who can take a hit from Courtney Laws and stand and see it off and bounce off.
Raised thanks to the accurate free-taking of John Doyle. 2 points between the teams.
Football is hurling, and maybe in that moment should have slipped out very to go have a conversation and say, I want to make that decision, but it ultimately comes down to them.
Hello, and you're very welcome back to episode 15 of All About the Game podcast in association with Clinched. I am joined by Johnny Dial and Sean Sean O'Brien is gone. We've a new man in the building, similar build. Jim Flanagan, or Jim Flano as he's known on TikTok and Instagram. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, lads.
Good to have you in the room.
Good to see two of Kildare's finest footballers. And
Yeah,
Johnny Doyle together now.
Along for the ride.
Three Kildare men.
What
could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Oh, look, Jim, thanks for coming down. We're delighted to have you. All good, men. Johnny, how was your week?
Yeah, good week. Bar I got wet about 5 times over the weekend. Went into the double header. Obviously, was doing a bit in the club Saturday morning and got drenched, and then I was out, went in for the hurling match, and we did the mini games at half time, and it was grand. Got in and stopped raining, and then just at half time it was biblical downpour, and then got so saturated. Then at half time of the football, brought the kids out, and as soon as we brought them onto the field, lashed rain again. So, and then we were in with the development squads then Sunday morning, and it got wet again. So,
typical Joe weather.
Yeah, so I might have gone to get start growing now. So we got that much water. But anyway, a good weekend. Yeah, good week.
The sun is out now anyway. I think it's getting a bit better.
The sun is out. Yeah.
Carlo Weather has it as that anyway. So
Yeah.
you can always trust Carlo Weather. Jim, all good. Thanks for coming down. As I said, you're coming down from Comfy, so just inside Kildare.
Try and hide your bias there, lads. So we're gone a West Up now.
Yeah. Well,
I work with Paul Lively, who you know well. But he'd be talking about maybe going down here. I said, look, you do realise the Lewis doesn't come down this far. He doesn't care. He's slagging about the big smoke and all that. So he takes some good spirit.
We're still here before the two of us anyway. Yeah. Only 20 seconds to come. But no, look, as I say, we're delighted. You joined us. As I said, most people would know you from TikTok and Instagram and your videos, and I suppose your latest one that went viral there with kicking the ball over the house and into the bin, and some shot you got there eventually.
Best 10 days of my life until day 9. I'm not sure if he saw me neighbour Colin Chan, Confi captain.
I know Colin well.
Came down.
I'll tell you good about Colin in a minute, but anyway, go ahead.
Turned around, came down to the house, goes, can I have a shot? Roar abused me from up the road first off, as usual. And he goes, go on, give me a shot. So I go on, over the right middle window. First try into the bin.
Oh, gee.
And he just
broke
looked at me
your
and goes, you've spent 9 days doing that. I was like, yeah. He goes, oh man. Time to give it up.
What's the big problem?
I got it on day 10 anyway, thank God.
Not bad on. That was good. It was
Well,
good.
I had a bit of an experience with Colin Chan. We went, the hurlers had a golf day out, and Devo was on to me, come on, and the golf doesn't suit me. I don't have the patience, and it just doesn't suit me. I don't like it anyway. But so anyway, I said, come on, we'll bit of crack. So it was myself and Devo and Jack Colin. So of course, I think they were playing a championship or something. So they decided to get the buggy, save the legs. And we were going on. I don't know what green we were in Craddock's. I think it was Craddockstown. And there was a bit of a brow, and of course every time I think on purpose he left the club back at the where we teed off, so he'd have to tear back to get no one could get into the but anyway, he was coming up the brow of a hill, and at the back of the hill wasn't there a bunker. It's like something you see out the 18. Went up into the air and it broke up the buggy. So that was but he lived to tell the
This
tale.
Colin, was it?
It was Colin, yeah. Myself and Divo fell around the place laughing. That was myself and Colin and Dibos. It was great crack.
Oh Jesus! I nearly see it happening. Let him keep going.
Well, lads were sagging me saying it was the first time I've ever seen people copying him doing something over the house now. His kicking style. So he got that out of it anyway, and I'm sure he'll love that now.
He showed you how it was done anyway when you got it the next day.
Second, the comments were ripped into me as well.
A bit like your online experience of kicking the ball again.
16.
That nearly went viral too.
Did go viral. Pops up about once a year.
We might get Jim to post it just there.
It's half enlightening now.
I'll show you. I'll send it to you after. Shocker. Yeah. Tried to show. I tell you what happened. It was one of the Kildare players. It was during COVID.
Oh, name and shame.
Mark Donlan. He set up his work phone as the Kildare secretary. He changed his name on it and profile picture, and texted a few of the players and said, and said that they need a video for the Kildare development squads, or the under 8s, or just to throw out a few videos of lads doing skills. So text the heap of the lads anyways, and I said I'm not doing that, and one or two lads sent it in anyway, but Fionn Dowling had been over in my house. He got COVID, so he had to move in with us for the 2 weeks. So he was there one of the days, he had the ball out. He said, "Come on, it's bad form if you don't do that." And I was like, "Go away with you, clown." I'm not. So he kind of kept at me, and I says, "Right, come on, we'll go out and do it." So while most lads were sending in just the video, and we're having a great laugh at them of doing it because they knew it was a take the piss, all my bloopers were sent in, and there was a lot of them. It's not that easy kicking a ball off the wall. There was about 30 videos, but anyways, there was one especially that didn't go to plan, but the boys got hold of a whole lot of the videos. But like, I don't know, it was shocking. But we had a good old laugh over. And I was wondering at the time, I was like, what's Fionn obsession with wanting me to do this? And he came in with the ball one day. It's bad form if you don't after being asked. So yeah, I got absolutely done. Sound for that, Don. But yeah, no, I think he actually got, he had a good few hits on Twitter with it. Anyways, I prefer not to. We might look for Laura to edit that part out.
It's all AI, is it?
Yeah, Jim, you know all about videos as going viral, and I think you have 3,000 followers on TikTok, and
3,000
or 300,000. Jesus, 300,000. Just testing you.
If they'd all like to send him €1, that'd be great for him. Just throw that in there.
It's better than any sponsorship, you know.
Subscription,
€1 each. Be in the ashtray of the car wouldn't not even know.
Johnny be looking for 10% if they do. Yeah, and up around 70,000 on Instagram. How did it come about, or how, was it during COVID? Was it, or what was it just one video took off and you said I'm going to go this route, or I suppose how did it start for you?
Unfortunately, this links in with the whole Kildare thing anyway. But funny enough, obviously got dropped off Kildare under 15s in July 2019.
Right, and who was over that?
I don't know who was over that.
I know who wasn't. I remember having a row saying you can't drop that man. He's a genius.
Well, anyway, might or might not be in Johnny Doyle drop me anyway. But we turn around, and in January 2020, I broke my collarbone playing rugby. I posted a video for the crack on TikTok saying I'm after getting dropped off Kildare because I broke my collarbone. Like, they weren't correlated at all. And sure, the video got 250,000 views. I said, sound. Off to LA. Fucking top dog now, Anyway, I'm here in a Castledermot. Like,
you're not in Castledermot a whole lot of it.
No one spoke to me for 2 years, all right.
Biggest thing to happen in Kildare. But I posted that anyway, and just kind of kept on ticking from there. That was January. And something happened in March 2020. I'm not sure if we heard of COVID or anything, but anyway, I kept on taking on. I was doing junior cert at the time. That was cancelled class. Lord in life, Kept on posting TikToks got around 10,000 around October 2020. Just kind of took off from there. It's just kind of a straight kind of spike. So
start having a bit of crack with it then.
Start having a complete crack with it, and obviously building in the sports element, football, rugby, whatnot now. So even I was there documenting me minor season during it, So it's all a bit of crack, and I loved it. And obviously the lads ripping into me the whole time. But
yeah.
That's typical of them.
You're well able to handle that. Yeah.
Can't expect to get away from them now. But now they come looking for tickets and whatnot now. So
yeah, that's funny. Like, you're in with Leinster now, and we'll talk about in with the Lions, and like I was just looking at videos there, and announcer in the stadium. Like, it's pretty cool. Was it something like, is this just kind of happened from TikTok and Instagram, or was it something that like you always wanted to do in terms of like I want to be on, whether it be television or media, like, or does it just came about and it's just kind of finding your own path now. And like as I said, looking at videos like interviewing Dan Carter, Mason Melia. Now you can add Johnny Dale to that list. Do you know, like
you're going downhill big time.
It's pretty cool, and you know, say you're working with different brands, like you just kind of take it as it comes, and it's
literally it's one of those things where you're just taking it every day as it comes. It's like I know I was going to go into computer science in college, sure. Like, I was going to go fixing computers and coding and whatnot, and then turn around and got this kind of opportunity, and like sure I still was young doing it at the time as well.
Yeah,
so,
true. Yeah,
like there was no like pressure for like I can do the leaving cert. Get on grand 410. My mother was like, please just do this for me, and I won't say anything else. Like, you can go do what you want, just please study for leaving, sir. Yeah. So like it was a big part of it, and then just kept on coming. Got a good opportunity with All Irish Sport in October 2023. So I was in college for actually I have a great one about college. I was in college in Maynooth, and I was on the rugby scholarship, so flying it like class. And turned around the first week of college, I'm in business marketing, and some Singaporean lecture. 500-person lecture hall, and I'm down the back watching rugby highlights on my computer. Not like I'm probably hungover from the night before. And one of the lads nudges me. He goes, "Is that you?" I was like, "I thought you meant the laptop." I was, "Yeah, we were playing Mary's there last night." He goes, "No, on the board." I look up. I'm there on the board, and he's there teaching one of the campaigns I did for unmute consent. And he goes, "This is influencer Jim Flano doing this, that, the is X, Y," and 500-person lecture hall. People, lads are turning around. Go, your man's there. Didn't have a breeze. I was in the class. I told my mother, she was like, "Yeah, it's good to be." I was like, "No, ma'am, come on, let's have a look at this here now." And I was like, "Okay, all right, let's just, whatever." So, look, deferred college. Then I'm definitely going back. If you ask me, mother, I'm going back.
You did.
Took the opportunity with All Irish Sport, and I was up with them until last May now, or this May. Just took it as it come, interviewing and shy talking away, but it's really just been taken every day as it comes. Yeah. So like you had the Olympics in there, you had the Lions coming up, like over in the Olympics. I was there sitting in hostels by myself.
And you were over there in where was the Olympics? In
Paris.
In Paris, yeah.
Mighty crack. Oh my god, some crack. They're going around in them bikes around the city, like half cut, like
going around interviewing, just
interviewing anyone. Daniel Whiffen aired me now. Outside that, now the rest of them were grand. Like,
that doesn't surprise me. Without saying too much, that doesn't surprise me.
No, it was good though. It's really just been taking it.
I say it's nearly pinch myself stuff when you're over there going, how in the name of Jesus did I end up here?
Absolutely. Like I was just there. Like I remember I went into a bar at one stage, or like a cafe kind of thing. It was at 8 o'clock, dying for a piss. And I was like, "Howie, can I go in for your bathroom?" "Yeah, buy something." I was like, "Okay, give me a pint." Sat outside for 4 hours by myself, like, talking to anyone who listens to me.
Deadly, yeah.
So, but it's really just one of those things where you're no one expects that, like no one's like, "Oh yeah," like it was so last minute as well. I got the call the week before, like, "Do you want to go to Paris?" Like, yeah, you have to
can't miss me lectures.
You have to sort your own accommodation. Grant, I stayed in a 12-person hostel, like so.
Savage.
No,
and you're off to Australia now with it. Was that just something that came recently? Obviously, as I said, you were doing an announcer. I suppose we'll speak about that first. Like you were doing a bit of work with Marcus, who would have gave us a dig out, and getting us some. You know Marcus well.
Know very well.
He's looking after you.
Oh, for the be, huh?
yeah. I actually looked at when I was looking at a second day earlier. I was like, I'll just stick with Marcus. It's easier. We couldn't really get that part, but you do working closely with Marcus in Leinster, and
sure. I remember I kind of first met Marcus. I covered Leinster fully last season. And then I kind of first proper got to know him. It was Champions Cup final weekend down in London, and the Challenge Cup finals on night 4. And I sat down and had a few beers after the game. Like there was no pressure; it wasn't our game, so we were talking about tomorrow. Obviously, we went on to lose. We won't speak about that. But just talking, and that was kind of first time he was like, "Geez, you actually might be, not too bad." I imagine. So talking away in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and then he gave me a text in September. He goes, "Would you do a bit of work for us for Leinster?" And I was like, "Grand, sure." Social media bits, bread and butter. "Would you do stadium announcer?" Marcus, last time we did reading was my communion, like, you'll be grand. Like in pure Marcus, like in the most lovely way possible. Like I'm obsessed with rugby. I said, "Yeah, geez, I would." He's like, "Grand." And I go to him, I went on a call with him there. Actually, he still tags me up this to the day. He goes, "We'll set up a meeting." And I said, "Grand, sure, we'll meet in 2 weeks or so on Wednesday." Wednesday rolls around anyway. "Can you send me the link?" It's supposed to be in person. And I thought it was just a video call.
Oh,
and he still
Jesus.
says, I don't know what century you're in, Jim, but we're in the... and the two of them, himself and Gary Nolan, were ripping into me the whole time. So they'll still say that to me. They go, this game this weekend's in person, yeah? But I remember, I go to him, the first game was the Dragons, 16,000. And I go to him, you won't give me the Munster game in the Croker, will you? Slagging. The second game. And he just looks at me with the most deadpan expression. You are doing that game. I was like, oh shit, sorry. Jeez. I was messing. Like, oh right, okay.
So you were straight, and that's probably the best. Straight into the deep end then, and it
went
was
from 12,000 to 80,000 in space a week.
class.
So.
And would you be? Yeah, obviously you're grand now. Would you be that bit nervous at the start? It's like
I thought I was going to say,
call the wrong player.
Would you? Yeah.
The first two games, I was so nervous now. Now I could do it with just without a sheet in front of me. I'm grand. But the first two games, I was probably useless. In fairness, I remember even getting abuse on Twitter over. It was
if you're on Twitter, you're going to get abuse anyway. Regardless.
No, I'd like to think I'm the first stadium PA in history to get abuse. Whoever shy game say, also stadium PA use. But no, after that I got better and I got more comfortable. I was like, let's put my own spin on this now and everything. So
it's funny because the stadium PA in Crow Park.
Yes.
Because I remember thinking before, and we were at a match and Sinead said, that's one of the principals in Dublin. But I was thinking, is it just the side, he's a lovely voice. We'll ask him, it's a mad one.
Yeah. I wonder what is the criteria though. He's got social media videos out of me.
I know, yeah.
Oh.
It's but is it some? Did you find then that you just listen? They're happy with what I'm doing, or did you think, I need to polish myself a little bit and get a bit of formal mentoring or whatever work done on the media?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's I just can train myself a tiny bit into this is what you have to do when a lot of studying went into it now for a while, and just making sure, even doing prep 2 days before the game, who are the South African team's coming up. Mother of God, lads, you should see some names. Oh my God, I'm there. I might as well be fluent now, just 'cause I know them off by heart. But at first, this was a thing that you
have to get it right. You don't want to,
you don't even take notice of. But it was just a thing of making it professional. It's more than just let's get videos of this and make it.
Yeah, you do need to have a little bit about you.
A little bit of cop on, a little bit of okay, this is my job at the end of the day, and look, I love it and I'm obsessed with it. And it's my one thing, So being able to turn around, know it is one thing. Being able to actually do it and speak is a whole different thing. Never mind to thousands of people. Just in fairness, I do have a lot of respect for throwing trust and
but that's it. Yeah, you need you need someone to kind of as you say back you and have that bit of trust, and as you say you're repaying him, and obviously you're not too bad if you're called up to the lines. I suppose it's another step.
You have to be there, and it doesn't happen. You obviously you built in, but it's a bit like football. We'd say you got to turn up to be picked. You have to. You obviously had content, and you had, but that's the thing. You didn't. It sounds like you didn't have any inhibition in regard to. Just be there, and I'll do that, and feck it, we'll see what happens, and put yourself forward a bit, which is not an easy thing to do for a young person. So fair
I
play.
love slagging them now. We have a 100% record as me as stadium PA. So taking that to the grave.
Maybe that's why you keep getting
one game.
You might have to bring your boots. Go well.
I was slagging the weekend. Jameson gives him Park got ruled out last minute, and so two lads got called in. Luke McGrath and Fintan Gunn. I just texted into the few of the coaches. Do you need a spare 9 lads? Will I bring boots? Those have none of it. I'd say they were so highly strong. Jim leaves alone.
Left on blue tick. And as I say, you're off to Australia with the Lions. Did that just purely come from Leinster? Who contacted you over that, or how would that come about? Or obviously, I'd say when you get the call like that, and as you say, you're mad into rugby. To get that call and going on a Lions trip, it's pretty cool.
Well, I first started off with All Irish Sport, who don't know if I'm doing with them now. Do you know All Irish Sport?
Yeah.
So obviously, I think probably the biggest media kind of brand in the world, or in Ireland anyway, in terms of followers. And I was working with them. I kind of go to them bargaining. I was like, if I book some of this now, do I have to use annual leave if I go down? So that was a bargain trip. I said, if I book this now and I cover it for us, and I pay for it fully, do I have to use the annual leave to go down? No, go on, do it. So I'm not working for them anymore. So I've just paid for a trip down to Australia. So now with brands on board, hopefully working with the Canterbury, Rhino, who are the rugby, Gilbert as well. So anyone who
doing a bit of work for them,
so that was turned into working for them for All Irish Sport down there to Jim Flano, takes on Australia, kind of, you know. So like as I said, I was telling you, I'm going right. I'm not sure if I told you this. I'm flying Dublin, Turkey, South Korea, Brisbane, like, and then flying around all.
See a bit of the world as you go around.
The traditional way, of course, to get to Australia.
Jesus. You'll miss the tour by the time you get out.
31 hours of flying, like 6 hours
Jesus.
in Seoul in South Korea, like so. I know. Look, I'm absolutely buzzing for it, and then staying in hostels all down there as well.
Deadly.
So,
And
you meet the best of people, like other lads probably slumming it to go and follow the lines and going from, you know.
I do a lot when I'm traveling.
Yeah, I won't spend it on a hotel because that's so many pints of beer.
yeah.
Sure, I remember it's so funny now. Look, I remember ringing my dad. I was in London last year for the Champions Cup final, and 8-person hostel room. Like I'd stay there $4,000. Really handy place to stay. It was like 30 quid a night. I was there for 2 nights. Walk in around 3 a.m. Flight delayed. Phone dead. Walk into the bedroom. Open up the door. 7 other women. I go, oh shit. Walk downstairs. Like, come here. I apologize. You're after giving me the wrong key card or wrong room. No, it just happens to be 7 women. I'm like, I look like a predator here or something. Please, can you put me into another room? Like,
That's tough going.
I know, poor me. You know, like,
My heart bleeds for you.
I was gassed insane, like, you know, and then just going around wandering through London. Then I flew the next day over to Magaluf, like, you know, so in terms of a sequence of a few days.
It obviously doesn't bother you travelling around or, you know, winging it.
Absolutely love it. Like, so
Deadly.
I've barely been home like over the last few months.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
take it by ear, do you know?
Yeah,
Savage.
fair, it's a great way to be.
It is.
And look at this, you're at that stage in life, like you're young and you've no real ties probably, and you can come home whenever you want, and you know, so it's a great opportunity for you. And
Throw a bag of washing at the floor, and hopefully it comes out clean anyway by the motor.
But then you could end up hosting the late now or something like that in years to come.
They showed wages on that now. I can't be doing that.
You never know.
Yeah, and you're in the Viva then, you say tomorrow. What would you be at now up there tomorrow? Just would you get to interview players, or like what goes on up there?
So Captain's Run now tomorrow. Few of the players I might get to interview them or not, but mainly it's just we have 15 minutes of vision access.
Right.
So just kind of document. You see them on RT and whatnot.
Right,
like,
you get into that then, and yeah.
But like it's kind of, you're put in a really weird position with myself and the players. I know a lot of players, and from a media point of view, like you're talking. I was out with the Leinster team on Saturday night, like after we won. Like I'm supposed to interview them in a professional manner on you know, like
so you might have a better chance of getting them maybe anyways. But
like, you can't go from
I know.
going to Coppers with them on Saturday night in a taxi and sharing a taxi on the way over, like to then going, what do you think of the Lions? You know, it's like very. I like to keep informed with the players. I try to avoid the whole media side of things. I like rather be a media presenter, and whoever we all know, Marty Morris, whoever he might be, try to avoid that and go into the whole, be a personality alongside the players.
Have a bit of crack, and and you see that even with your videos interviewing before one of the Leinster games, and just going up and talking to different people and having a bit of crack. And it's funny, it was just
your homework anyway.
I was doing my homework. But it's funny, I was just thinking about it, like it is, like it's really good and it's fun, and you know, as you say, like there'll be so many people up at the Lions tour, or if it's Leinster, and like in GAA it's like totally different. And I actually wanted to get your opinion, like if Johnny was ever interviewed, if anyone's ever interviewed in the GAA, it's nearly scripted, and it's as much as if you nearly go off it, as you say, you'd be slated. Like everything is kind of the same, and the great win, but sure we have to go back now.
You're looking at an interview, like
like you know, you have to be
at a time. We're doing our best. We're building.
Like it's it is
getting PTSD over there.
Like, and you see, you talk about loads, like in terms of building up matches, like, and Jay gets a bit of criticism over it that, you know, we could portray our game better, or, you know, have more media. Like, is it ever something you thought about in terms of like, Jesus, the Jay could do this, or like even something simple like when Leinster were playing, going into the crowd and interviewing and having a bit of crack, and it's just something for their socials. Like, is it something that Kildare could do before the Offaly game? Do you know?
Well, it's point in case is the GAA don't have a TikTok. They refuse to use TikTok at all, which might change in the future. But they posted a thing about 2 years ago. We do not want to have anything to do with TikTok. It is a bad app. It's causes bullying. I don't know what the reason was, but they won't go near it. And it's the biggest app probably in the world at the moment, like in terms of how far you can reach with the game. Like, look, we all remember James Carr's goal there years ago against Galway. Did millions of views on Instagram. The amount of stuff on GA that it was if it was going up on TikTok, it
could go more viral. And
like you should see the comments when stuff is posted on GA or GA on TikTok, the views it gets. But then you have the GA going to lads and then going like, sorry, you can't be posting this.
Yeah, for whatever. Yeah.
Threatening with lawsuits and whatnot now. And look,
Yeah.
to an extent, I understand why, and I appreciate that the GA hold a brand, and you know they hold a certain level, and they want to dip below or above that. But
Yeah,
I think TikTok could be such a useful tool for, like, look what's built for me. Do you know? I think that's I'm pointing case of what like
where it can go or
how it works. Like,
yeah.
it's more than just what's portrayed to be. It's a life, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose it's like everything. Every social media, there's when it's used correctly, it can be a huge marketing tool for the GA, and you know, like that, a bit of fun, and you know, interviewing people. Like we'd all, and it's look, I've done it for years. You get the media, the microphone in your face, and yeah, just happy to win today, not getting ahead of ourselves. And you know, as Paddy O'Shea famously said when they asked him for an interview, he said, "Stick me down for what I said last year." Do you know? In other words, I'm not going to say anything different. But the other side of it is to build the atmosphere. You know, you're interviewing, maybe going down Jones's Road, and there's some one that's dyed their hair yellow and green, and you're over there, and there's, you know, you can build so much positivity around the game. That's what I would feel. Obviously, there's the downsides to it too, and
like saying that, and then you have Twitter, the worst app in the world for abuse. You know?
Abuse, yeah. There seems to be no filter on that at all.
There's no filter at all,
Yeah.
and that's grand. We'll post on that every, and it's probably one of our main outputs for news.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a lot of, you know, like, we'll say one thing and we'll completely do the opposite, but like we'll maintain that we said that one thing at one time. You know?
Yeah. No, because like we had Mark Jackson on here a few weeks ago. He was even saying when he was over with the NFL, seen you doing a bit of work with the Steelers as well.
I did work with him. I did a kicking challenge with him, actually.
Did you? Yeah. Very good. Yeah, he's a fierce nice fella. But even he was saying when he was over in America, there was lads interviewing him, and obviously over there you have to sell yourself and nearly say, yeah, I'm the best here and I'm great.
Yeah.
And like he was saying how well, you know, I'm working hard, but like you're really putting yourself down as opposed
Mark
to saying
Jackson doesn't rate himself.
yeah. But like it's funny how
Fill you full of confidence.
perceive
Yeah.
it, like instead
But
of maybe them.
that's the culture, isn't it?
It is, as you say, it's the culture. But
Didn't Samuel Rai do a famous interview about talking about wanted to be the best in Ireland, wanted to win all Ireland's, and he got absolutely slayed.
And he was proved right 3 years later.
He stopped scoring this year's championship.
Yeah.
But like
There
it
you
is.
go.
Like, sure, so what? Like,
So what?
like,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know, put yourself out there. Maybe sometimes you put the pressure on yourself. But
I remember, last year I interviewed Dave Clifford, and there was a round table first, and then I got one-on-one with him. I remember one of the interviewers asked him, "Dave, do you view yourself as the LeBron James of Gaelic football?" And of course, he just put his head in, no, and like brushed it off easily, because he's a professional. Dave Clifford is probably one of the best interviewers as well. He knows what to say so well. I went to, and I did my interview with him. I actually asked him, would you rather fight 50 duck-sized Paddy Cliffords or one Paddy Clifford-sized duck? So sarcastic stuff. But then after the interview, lovely fella, talking away to him, I was like, how do you deal with that? Like, and he just kind of looked at me and goes, what do they want me to say? Like, yes, I am. And like,
And then queuing to knock you.
I felt so bad for him. The poor fella.
Yeah, it is. And as you said, there is. It's.
And he's the biggest
And
brand
you know what?
in
There'll be nothing said about it until they lose to me last weekend, and it's like, sure, did you hear what he said on this? But you know,
he was against him.
Personality, use it against him. But like,
you'd
like
he
sometimes
doesn't have the social medias at all. As well. Like,
he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
And he would be making hundreds of thousands more if he was. And it's purely.
I saw Johnny Sexton there on like, there was something on Joe that I hear one of them saying that the new lads come in, just get off social media. Do you know?
I know Sam very well, and he does have social media deleted.
Yeah.
And like, I can't imagine what, like, wanting to put yourself in that. Like, why would you want to put yourself in that situation as a athlete, you know?
Like with Sam is probably especially for him, because I was saying it's either he's the best in the world or lads are slating the back off at 22 years of age.
He made
for Leinster.
He made the under 15s, just to let you know that.
Well, I have to touch on the under 15 thing now, and my debut against you.
Made a debut against the Larrys.
That was a riveting experience, I'm sure.
Who won?
He did. Or did we draw? I think we might draw.
We played. We went
down
through about.
in 2021.
We went through about 5 or 6 years of playing comfy every year in championship.
I thought we always played you. Then I haven't seen you a few years now. Well, I remember we were in the dressing room. It was my first game as senior. Like, it's called, I think we had a lot of lads away and lads injured. And I was like, yeah, come up and play. Put you on the bench. And then in the dressing room, it was like playing against yourself. I didn't know you at the time, and it was like, you've got him marked. You like one of our lad for his first game, cornerback playing. And like, he's not worth the fuck. You know, he's this, that, the other, as you every GA dresser is, you know. And first touch of ball, young lad, 17-year-old marking you outside the foot from the touchline. Who is your man today? Here?
Make sure that one goes in, Laura.
I just add was his left foot.
I remember
Ran with Steve after that.
Took him off after 10 minutes.
I was still living off the under 15 county reputation. That's it.
You had it out for Johnny ever since. This is your chance to get back on now.
It was actually funny. There was a comment. What did I post? It was me kicking the ball over house. All our sport posted it. It was under 15 Kildare trialist. Kicks ball over house. And one of the top comments is, where's that Kildare manager now? And I replied to it, have you ever heard of Johnny Doyle? And the comment is just like, their comments about 40 likes. Mine is about 200. Never heard that.
Even though you have a few nice touches. I was watching the video with Mace Amelia. I liked the way it was 2 all for the crossbar. That was a ballsy one with the outside of the right.
It was never written in the stars me to win that one. Was it?
Yeah, you gave him a good run all the same. Jesus.
He was a great lad to do work with now.
Was he? Yeah.
Like, he's 17. Like,
yeah.
man, like,
It's hard to believe. He's a big chap, and obviously he's going for or heading over to Spurs. He's fairly good crack. And
like, I was, you know, you meet, like, probably this is Kildare things about. You meet the Dublin lads who are like, we all have probably preconceived notions of them, you know. And I think he's going to come in here thinking he's, you know, him going Spurs, whatnot. Yeah. Soundest fella ever. Oh, how are you, Jimmy? Well, come on, we'll do a few challenges. And then he was injured at the time. Well, Adidas wouldn't let him do a few bits. And he was like, we'll do a corner challenge. Oh, it's outside your 20-metre kicking range. And he was like, man, I'm well able to. Like, didn't care. Lovely fella. And like, I'd say probably one of top 5 athletes I've worked with. Like, he's
savage,
some man, and like so grounded, so down to earth.
Yeah,
such just mighty crack.
Deadly. Yeah, I say it's cool meeting different people like that. If you had to say the best you've well, except for what outside
of the right.
Like, was there a day
the second best?
The boot touch, my God.
Who was the second best?
Just I'm top 2 and I'm not number 2.
Like, was there an interview or a challenge, or was there something that like was just someone that was class to work with? Or obviously I said it's probably Dan Carter. That was probably
a pinch yourself moment.
Yeah,
Jesus.
She made a list on the phone there last week, actually, out this weirdly enough. Marcus Smith is number 1, the English out half. Like, I did a shoot with Hugo Heenan the day before. This from Optimum Nutrition we were working with.
And he was brutal.
Marcus Mook was watching. But like, Hugo, lovely fella, always talking to him now, like, just with the sevens and all, lovely fella, always goes out his way to say hi to me. But did challenges, great crack. And but you can tell he's media trained. You have to be, of course. And then the next day, I was there at Marcus Smith. And I got there, like, from there with him 5 minutes having the crack at him. Lovely fella. Oh, you're Irish, you know Pierre Mahoney. For the sake of things, like, I don't know Pierre Mahoney. But
you know,
we
all do.
Yeah. So I go, oh, yeah, sure. Would have, like, we played Munster and talking to him after the game, like, brief interactions with him.
How are you, Pierre?
You know, exactly. You're looking at me toes. Like. And then he was like, yeah, he's an arsehole. Like, Marcus, I know you 5 minutes. Like, yeah, I hate playing against him. All right. But
just agree with what you said.
Like,
yeah,
in a nice way as well. He's just like, yeah, he hit me off the ball there. He's like, good crack. He was
just been himself. Yeah,
but like, he wasn't afraid to, you know.
Yeah, just say what he was thinking. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's it's a rarity, isn't it? You don't get
in your job, I suppose. That's what you want, or that's what you're kind of looking for, to find them
even
lads that have the
New
personality.
City on Wednesday, it was himself and Johnny kicking away after training, and turns around to Sands and like, I'm sitting there, I haven't said anything. Well, Jim, across the pitch. Like. And I'd like to think Johnny Sexton has me blocked on Instagram, actually, funny enough. But I'd like to think that these boys were like, what's your man doing? That's your man that makes TikToks. Like, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you're delighted with yourself. Johnny does play.
I love waving back to him. Like, I'm not fanboying and stuff like that. Like, the hair hasn't dropped a tiny bit, you know.
Play it cool.
It's gas.
No, it's deadly. It looks sure. It'll be interesting to see where you go with it now, and you know, as you said, you probably don't know from one week to next the opportunities that can pop up for you. Like, it's and that's, you know, it's deadly, and you seem to have your name in lots of different companies, or, you know, whether teams and stuff like that. So no, I'm sure we'll be hearing plenty.
He's on all about the game here.
So now everyone's going to hear about you.
It's gonna, you know.
I'm going worldwide now, right?
You might need viral.
You might need to keep the head down for the next few weeks.
If you need an agent, Podge is the man.
Well, no, but it's funny, like you say it, but like, full circle moment here. Like, hypothetically speaking, if you hadn't dropped me from Kildare, I never posted TikTok saying like I dropped off Kildare. I never go on.
The invoice is in the post. I just felt at the time, maybe
he's wasting time with us.
A bit of resilience was needed to just, there's no problem. Thanks very much.
And let's go on to win the All Ireland and under 20s as well.
That he's a useless footballer. Lovely voice. That could really make it. It is. It's gas how it turns out. I suppose turning attention to Newbridge last weekend, not so good for the hurlers, but I think winning Joel McDonough was some going for them and some achievement.
And they had some crack them lads on Twitter anyway, didn't they?
Yeah. There was one lad there, as you say, on Twitter that had given them a hard time when they got bet by Kerry, that were still whinging and still haven't won a McDonough game. So that lad fairly got it back.
I could imagine.
We do it every year. I think Kildare GAA fan years ago, 2020, I think he tweeted, "Our confi fucked," with a poll under. Sure, we quote tweet every year when we stay up. Like, by the skin of our teeth, like,
we might win some. Stay up. Go to that lad.
But it was. Do you know what, Podge? Like, I did feel sorry for the hurlers a little bit. Like, they had to go and celebrate an unbelievable year, and then 6 days later, like, and even I was sitting with Deki O'Toole, who would work with David Herty as a coach with the hurlers, and like he said, they'd done lots with Christie Arena, but they never played in a crowd like that in Newbridge, and like you're thinking, jeez, give them the best chance they can,
it was hard off the back of.
It was tough going. I felt sorry for them. Like, look at Dublin were at a different level on the day, but you'd love to. I know from playing myself, windows are dry. So we gave the best account of ourselves. We prepared the best we could. Like, it was very, very difficult. So
you didn't see the pictures of, I think it was Paul Dolan on Monday morning at the launch of the hurling championship. He was shook as anyone. He
must have got pulled over half for that one.
It wasn't Kildare kit. It's so funny to make them wear the full kit as well.
Poor old Fecker getting called up for that one.
Short straw there, wasn't it?
Better in the second game. Obviously a good win.
Finally,
good win for Kildare. Finally against Offaly. Third time lucky, but important win and into the next round.
Yeah, an important win. Yeah, no, there was pressure on. Like, it wasn't. I think we went 6 or 7 up at one stage, and we're playing well. And then, of course, the 2-pointers, they kicked a couple of great 2-pointers. Got it back into the game, and it was squeaky bum time near the end there. Like, you just were
sweating,
And then that last one, I think he's only a young lad. His name escapes me at the moment, but he had the bravery to go and take it on, and it just crept to one side of the post and. But just so relieved when the final whistle went, and you're in the semi-final. You have that little bit of momentum now, and you know yourself with any sport, winning creates a little bit of confidence, and then when you have a little momentum, you'll win matches maybe you shouldn't win, and the opposite when the momentum's gone against you, you lose matches you should win. So look, it's good for them. Looking forward.
It's funny as you say, the few 2-pointers from Offaly, like Kildare, and please God will go on and win it, and they seem to be moving well, as you say, have that bit of confidence. They seem to struggle with just getting 2-pointers or 2-pointers opportunities. It's probably, for not being negative, because they've been playing really well, but you just see, I was watching Down and Monaghan the other day, the score taken was class, but like 2-pointers, they're obviously 2 points, goal is 3 points, but like they can get you back into a game
hugely.
They changed the game completely.
Offaly needed them to get back into the game. Look, if you're 6 or 7 up, you probably think chip away.
Yeah,
you just maybe one thing that if they could stick 3 or 4 2-pointers on top of what they're doing, they're probably
just
winning games cosily.
But look at that. Obviously, you don't know what's instruction, but knowing the lads are involved, I'm sure they wouldn't be trying to curtail them in any way.
Absolutely
not.
Work it
in, and if you think the shot's on, have a go. Hindsight's a great thing. Like the man says, if you thought you were going to kick away, you wouldn't shoot. But whatever chance you have of getting it, you have to take it on. Like, and that's probably something. You're right. I remember in the Leinster semi-final against Louth, and we got a couple like down here there. Like, have a go. Like, and there was lads that if they were playing with the clubs would think nothing, they just turn and bang over the bar. Like, just I'd rather die trying. Do you know what I mean? But
just one aspect, as I said, they look in a very good position. I actually thought Westmeath be the one team that could you know, that I
Man,
said,
Luke Loughlin.
Yeah.
O'Loughlin.
Lachlan, yeah.
He's Lord in it.
Yeah, he's kicking about 116 a game, but again, through 2-pointers. But they won't be kicking them next weekend because obviously a big win for Wicklow. He had some season, Luke Loughlin, unbelievable footballer.
But again, we thought, I think we mentioned it last week. You just can't back against Wicklow down Ockram. Do you know? There's to be fair to them, like they did a lot to do, but by God, they kept grinding, and like, you know, you talk about fairy tale endings. Who better than your captain? You know, Dean Healy. He's just slogging along there for years and years when it's not easy to play. You know, when things are going. You know, that was his day in the sun, and now look, you know.
No, and they're playing Limerick now.
Limerick.
We've Fermanagh, isn't it?
We've Clare Fermanagh, yeah. So no, it'll be interesting. Wicklow put up a good shout against the Dubs, like, you know, and put in a really good performance. Who was it actually beat Wicklow the next day? Can't think of it right now, but like they topped the group in the Talton Cup, beating Westmeath in the quarterfinal, so they'll fancy their chances against Limerick. Yeah, so no, it'll be interesting to see. And obviously Kildare have Fermanagh beat them comfortably enough in the league, but it's just them northern teams are always just tough and physical, and
as well.
Yeah, you just can't take them for granted. Like they're just,
and like they did, and I was in, like, it was men and boys in the league. I was at the game, but like just the same from a team that robbed against Down. Let's be honest about it in the Ulster Championship, and we seen last weekend where Down are at.
They seriously surprised me. Seeing Down.
I thought they were married. Like.
Yeah.
It was a great game. It was a great game against Monaghan. Some of the, like, your man Havern kicked some scores.
Oh my God, he's done that all year up. He's
only looking at top scorers today. He's up in the top 5 or 6 from play, and a serious free taker. But they just have massive men all over the pitch. But
pace.
Yeah, and pace and like that was, like, speaking of 2-pointers, there was 2-pointers debate, the band going in that game, and one thing that really annoyed me, and thank God they've changed the rule. You see the time Havern overcarried it, and your man straight away went to slap the shit out of his hand, and the referee moved it up, and it was just 2 points for begging. I was just,
what could he do there?
What could he do? Now look, they've
at the same time though, changing it middle of the championship.
Is typical GAA. Wouldn't happen.
Then we're sure skirts and shorts. No, jeez.
No, traditionalists.
Have to do it the right way. In terms of other rules, though, just don't bring up 50 meters.
No, it is. It's
someone's team.
I'm glad it's gone, because the likes of that was just like 2 points is just such a, and begging is like a gimme and that. But it was a really good game. Really good game to watch, and obviously Mayo and Donegal after. Jesus, Mayo. It was sickening for them, wasn't it?
Only Mayo could lose that game, and I mean that in the best possible way. Like, I've such admiration for them, but, like, you know, probably a bit of naivety, but, like, you can imagine now if Colin Boyle was under that ball, or, you know, even Paddy Durkin, man ball the whole hour.
It was actually like when he kicked it, I think there was 10 seconds left on the camera or on the clock, and it went over. And I think RT showed like 2 replays. They showed him kicking it, and I was thinking, Jesus, go back to the game, because you just knew Patton was going to put it down and launch one. And you got
best keepers out of that position just to get the ball. Like, we're going again. This game's not over.
Yeah, exactly. And to go from, like, they're nearly all like, we're still in championship, to just it was a killer, and it was a serious kick from Boland into the wind, a ballsy kick to get level, but. As you say, naivety, maybe just jump on him, do anything just to slow it down.
Don't win this ball. Whatever else happens, you don't have to win it, but he doesn't win it.
And in fairness to your man Moore, he's wicked pace. Oh, jeez.
But it's funny, like, even I would have felt, I have to be careful now because the hurling fraternity, but even looking at Kildare and Laois and the Joe McDonald, and then looking at Galway and Kilkenny, I thought just the pace of that game was just through the roof. And even, like, came home from Newbridge and then watched some of the other games, and, like, it's just the pace.
And then it's funny,
just
like,
different level.
And sometimes, like, visually it just looks, because Loud and Clare, you know, and it was kind of highlights, but people talking about it was like, oh jeez, if you watched any other games, that was way off it. Where Loud are Leinster champions, and they're going well, but sometimes you lose, I suppose, playing at that pace, and like you're talking about, say, Kildare hurlers, like they'll only benefit now from playing.
Yeah.
They'll play 4 Leinster teams or 5 Leinster teams next year.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll take a pacing or two, but they have to. You have to play there.
And they have to learn to try get to that pace.
It's a different game. Yeah, everything happens faster, and but yeah, no, it's set up. I just knew down to get Galway. I'm not saying Galway. It's a gimme, but I was thinking like for next weekend, I was like, oh Jesus, if it's Kerry and Galway or Kerry. And then I was nearly disappointed when I see Down in Galway. I was like, oh, feck. Now, as I say, I was seriously impressed with
Down. Yeah.
I wouldn't be overly surprised now if Down did a
turn
job.
them over.
I would.
But Galway not going well.
Galway going for
no, but then massive win against Armagh. I know Armagh didn't have as much to play for, but some comeback. But
it's hard. I see. It's very, very. The biggest mistake you can make is read too much into the last game. Like we talked about last week. You get Dublin beaten by Meath. Oh, that's the Dublin gone now. They're back in the pack, and then they go up to Salt Hill and beat Galway, who everyone was tipping to win it, and then they go the next game to who did they play? Armagh, and the kicks in Crow Park. You're saying, right, they're going to this another level for them now, and they just kick loads of wides, drop balls short. And then they'll come out then maybe the next day and put in an All-Ireland, put the claim for the All-Ireland. It's just mental from day to day,
Yeah, it is. No, look, there's been lots of good games, and maybe there will be one upset over the weekend. Like you've Down Galway, Kerry, Cavan, Dublin, Cork, and Donegal and Louth. You'd fancy the.
You think it was seeded, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think it was seeded. No, I was thinking, I don't know. I'm in Portugal this weekend. I was hoping for a good game. That's when I'm sitting up in O'Shea's. Hopefully there will be a good few games. I'll be thinking I'll have you. Actually, I'm going down to Portugal. There's a picture of Johnny on the wall. So I'll sit at that table.
Go over the weekend, eh?
Going over tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm a bit giddy. What part are you going to?
Alfair, 12.
But he down the road in Villamore, sure. Give us a shout.
Yeah.
We'll get the photo, John.
Yeah. we went before. We spoke about on the pod. We went before. We were down to watch a match in O'Shea's, and we met Mike Sheehy, and we did the day in the beer. So I'll get a picture of the two boys and Mike Sheehy and everything.
Stuck back here. Yeah. Well, it's more a golfing holiday, but we might get a beer or two along the way.
I can imagine.
Yeah, no, looking forward to that one. It's big giddy this evening, but yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see
this podcast episode.
I'm out the gap. And obviously Kildare, and we spoke about both games in Crow Park, both on RT, the other games on GAA. Plus, again, it's just, do you know what? It's grand for most, definitely grand for younger people, but older
Johnny's is the word
who mightn't have the.
I'm still fairly young.
But there is a lot of people that won't get access to the game. Now, I think GAA Plus is great in terms of there's loads of games before that wouldn't have been on, and you get to show them. But then, like I seen last weekend, there was some stupid program on RT where one of the best games was on. I don't know how the ins and outs of how it works, but it's just mad.
It's back to that point we're making there. It's selling the products.
Yeah,
it was a Champions League magazine that I was on.
Yeah, you're right. That was it. Yeah,
like, and the game, because I was very critical of the exposure. Like, don't get me wrong. Last few years the game got stale. No, everyone. But we presenters come on, you watch the Sunday game, and it was just doom and gloom. Listen, you got to say, ask the question. Okay, well, why did Galway set up this way against Armagh? Or let's talk through the game and what's happening. And rather than saying, it was a boring game, there's an onus on RTE, the GAA, to sell the product, because it's Jimmy, you're dealing with different sports now, and like there's no organisation in the world like it.
Yeah,
so we should be selling it.
So sheltered. So it's the best way.
So what they call it, Spo, wasn't the Woolley Parkland that spoke about setting up, and he offered RT that he do it.
Yeah,
to show a preview for Championship each week, and to shut them down, and it's like what, sell the game, like loads of people
from smaller Colin Parkinson.
In
fairness, as much as I might not agree with him at times.
Yeah, but that's fine.
No, he's great content.
Does a great job.
He does. But like great opportunity to get lads on, and as you say, see a bit of personalities.
And, exactly, and in fairness to Colin Parkinson, he's not going to be how do you think the match is going? He's going to pull a little bit more out of them, and you know, which people want to see.
No, he's no problem in it.
And take the mick out of himself. In fairness, he's good at that too. Like,
but like, why not go for it? Like, as I say, like you're talking about, been Champions League magazine been on. Champions League was over about a month ago, and like, you know, they're marketing it probably still after.
Yeah.
But like, just market it and sell it, and
like there's such content out there. Like you say, you know, you were going down to follow the lines, and you've been at the Olympics, and like there's games going on in Madrid, Barcelona, in Berlin, in Paris. Like there's a whole European there. Like, Jim, how are you fixed next weekend? There's games there. Head out, interview people. Here's Martin from Sligo. Are you out here long? You know, have a bit of crack. Sure, that's what people want to see. Like,
I wouldn't do it until tomorrow, but I do it in most other places. Get to know.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
so anyone from the GAA headquarters listening in, get on to Jim Flano and he'll build the game himself. But like,
it's funny you say that. Like, I worked with Crow Park there last week. I actually called in a favour I was working with URC, and I texted a girl at Crow Park. She's head of media or whatever. I was like, "Can I go up on the skyline and throw a rugby ball around? I need it for content." She's like, "Yeah, but you're doing 2 TikToks for us." I was like, "Great." Sound like,
brilliant,
and not a bother. And that's, I think them videos combined got about, across Instagram and TikTok, got probably close to 100,000 views. All, and not to mention my video as well on top of that, like, of just the skyline in general. And you're like,
use it, you have it there. It's there for you,
God, I'd love to do that trip to the museum. I'd love to just do that now during the summer. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I'd like to think a lot of people look like, just the skyline.
Sells it. And like, there is, like, and as you say, all the new rules in GAA, like, it has improved, and in games are better to watch.
A lot better watch.
Jump on the momentum, and you know, just it's there's definitely more there. Like, you know, there was an hour break, and this isn't maybe the GAA, and it's not something that's done in GAA. I think there was an hour in between the hurling and you know, give you a microphone there, head around to the crowd and have a bit of crack, and throw it up on Kildare social media.
Absolutely.
And I'd say you get some great crack out of people in the crowd.
Absolutely.
And sure, if someone says something inappropriate, don't show it.
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing about it is, like, in Kildare, in every county, the county board get ridiculed. Like, so a small little thing would just, you know, would open up everyone and say, "Cheers, fair play." You know, cheers, right to trying. Like,
at the weekend, like, I went around Croker with a mic live on the big screen, me and Christina Mann, another presenter, firing t-shirt cannons into the crowd first off. Then we went interviewing, asking people like, "Geez, how's the heart after that first half?" Like, so simple.
And it keeps everyone entertained.
Because I'm tough to look at times, I understand that, but like, I can talk shy for Ireland, you know. Like,
but that's
everyone fears the man with a microphone as well. You just sit down, like, they have no choice.
Pick the
one to see themselves on the big screen, and then they're looking up but waving at them.
The light of my life. No, look, it's
I think it's such a simple fix. It's such a so small-minded, in my opinion, is how it is. And like,
well, as you say, even the TikTok thing, and you totally understand, as you say, protecting players and protecting the brand and all. But as you say, you go on to Twitter and there's lads talking
say what they want.
Like, as you say, with TikTok and followers, like, just sell it. Like, it's sure, like, GAA, I think, is the best sport in the world. Like, and it's everyone is involved in it in some way. Sell it, like,
but sure, the best way. But imagine you're Alan Wood, 2023 when you went well. Imagine that whole journey was documented. Sure, I was seeing on lads' Snapchat stories pictures of you every week after winning their fucking game, like
sitting in having a coffee in the corner.
Yeah, having a coffee in the corner.
Well, you know, I mean,
well, it's so simple. It's so like. If people can follow
people can relate to it.
It's nearly like
it's your club. It's where you're from.
It's like the video of the Galway and they showed it again when John O'Mahony had sadly passed away, and like, it was so cool seeing the videos in the dressing room and around Miko going into them after the All-Ireland final, and it was like, it was class. It was actually like, now, like, if someone took out a camera, and look, understand GAA teams have to be in, but like if you go into soccer and you look at Sunderland Till I Die or all them things, like, they're class. Where if you say, so what if someone said, right, if Kildare or someone agreed to, right, we'll go, of course at the end you can say, right, edit out that, or
control.
But like, how many people, like Sunderland Till I Die was, I thought, like, I
do you remember
that.
Kevin McStay with Roscommon behind the gates?
Yeah,
that's a very famous video. That's an incredible numbers on TikTok.
You just saw the rawness of the dressing room.
And it's so simple. If he says something, right, if he starts slating our players,
nobody cares.
They're gonna, like, and it's so easy to cut out. It's not like it's fucking live either.
Exactly.
Like, I'm so against live and whatnot, but like, goes to production, goes to TikTok after a day.
Well, as you say, if it's you in doing it, no one else's video on it that you can. I'm going to send this out. You're maybe contracted to them.
Yeah.
You sit down then with
Send it
3 or
on to
4
whoever.
people and
Yeah,
you say
like
no.
that. Could.
Yeah,
But like I also know the players as well. I'm not out to get them.
No,
as well.
yeah,
You know,
not gonna sell them
I think
now,
that's the
yeah,
difference between getting someone like myself in. There is a good few people like myself. We're not journalists. We're not trying to get a headline of,
Yeah.
oh my God, David Clifford hates Pod Folk. It's little
You know
things
who I
like,
am. Yeah, exactly. You're there to you're kind of so you're friendly with them. You're not gonna do something negative. But there's just like, you know, there's so much that can be done and
So much
fun and enjoyable.
We have to embrace, like, we have to embrace the new age. This is what
Yeah, this is
people
what it
are
is.
doing. Like we
Yeah.
have to embrace.
Well,
it.
there's enough negative stuff out there, and
Yeah.
you say, oh, we're seeing lads, and if they can get half a chance to
Yeah.
put lads down, or like, you know, but say if you had their media, sure, you'd have lads on, give them a few bob for doing
Yeah,
it,
exactly,
or whatever.
yeah,
Like, you know, they're giving enough back in what, you know, the viewership we're getting out of it. But
Look, we're doing our best for you here, Jim. You know, like we're sharing.
we're going to tag every J Twitter, TikTok. No, not TikTok. We'll tag everything.
accounts
we
on
can.
Twitter. I didn't drop them.
We'll tag all we can, but just don't forget it's 10% if you get it.
Each.
Get you to sign that before you go. No, look, it's Jim. We're actually delighted you came in and to have a chat and say it's look I suppose there's no ceiling there for you and what you can do and where you can go. And
We only called out the GAA on my first episode. So, you know, like,
we're really giving them the opportunity that you're out there. But no, look, as I was just going through your content, it's class, like, and you know, whether it be soccer or rugby, like, everyone's making the most of it, and it's just good stuff to watch. Like, it's off the cuff, but you see, as you talk about Mason Melia, like, there's just, you see a bit of personalities, like, and often you can see, and it's like Johnny or Sean talked about before, you might play against the player and you think, or you might watch a player on telly, you go, oh Jesus, I hate him. But like, that's not their personality off the pitch, or they might play a certain way and people think, but then you see the other side of them
based on personal experiences.
I know, I'm a lover, not a hater.
when are you heading down?
14th July.
14th July. Very good.
I'll prepare for that now. So.
Get warm up leg then.
I'll give you a shout. Might go for a run over there.
A few hills.
Could we get that on social media? I'd love to see that.
We'll AI in if you want.
That could go viral.
Jesus Christ.
No, that's seriously. Thanks for having me though. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, I was saying we'll be following, and as I say, hopefully you might be in doing a bit with Kildare. Jade. Well, look, they dropped you from under 15s. They need something to make it up to you there.
They should make it up.
Johnny Doyle.
Johnny. Jeez. Now you're looking for favours off them to come in. And yeah, you had a neck on you. No, lads,
it's all part of the bigger plan.
No, look, thanks to all our listeners as well for joining in on episode 15. As I said, I'm on me jolliers there this week, so we're going to have a week's break. You've
updates coming out
next week. We've updates coming out. Jim, Jesus Christ, we need to get him.
I'm PR trained.
There's 2% of the 10% back. No, look, obviously, with our updates with the app, we're launching in the UK with soccer and rugby, so that's really exciting. Really exciting for us. Obviously, we're trying to connect managers and clubs and make that whole kind of opportunity for managers easier, but make it the process for clubs easier, isn't it, Johnny? Like, it's just taking away them phone calls, taking away all the hassle. It's as we spoke about before, it's like a Tinder for sports clubs, and please God, we can be of great help to. You know, we were pretty happy with our success with the GAA last year, and you know, just linking clubs and getting coaches in for them, and you know, just look, that's as simple as it is what it says on the tin, and that's the message.
Well, and we're look at there's no different in yourself. Look, we believe in the product, and we think the ceiling is there to be pushed up, and look, we're a bit feeling in the dark as well at times, but. You know, this is one of the reasons I was delighted to come in to see. Well, look, you know, if you don't if you don't take a chance and have a go at it, sure, where you never know.
You never know, yeah.
So that's us. Where you're probably a little bit ahead of us, but
if you're looking through a bit of coaching, Jim,
I coached Convy Minors.
yeah, sign her up. Yeah, no, it is. And look, obviously we've the whole kind of
Actually saying that, I did miss their training tonight for this.
We let that out.
Priorities. But we've also challenge matches added, and you've probably seen with our minors that trying to organise challenge matches now, there'll be the opportunity to put out a vacancy for a challenge match, and if Larrys are looking for a game on Saturday evening, they can post it. And
seniors playing Convy Minors
again.
Well, you can't narrow that part down, but yeah, and other clubs will get the notification that they're looking for a challenge and it might suit them. And as I say, I know myself trying to organise challenges and narrow it down and different championships on, it can be difficult. So again, it's just saving clubs the time, people time to and to work on things that are more important. So yeah, no, I say we're excited to launch with soccer, entering all that. We've been doing a bit of work with getting the teams in over the last few days. So yeah, it's there's a lot of clubs in England.
No, but look, it is exciting times for us as well. Like we as I said, we do believe in it, and we feel that it is going to, maybe it takes time, even though we live in a world where communication is so fast. It does take time to get it out there, but we believe we're building something that's good.
No, exactly. It's exciting. It's exciting where we can go, and hopefully we'll see who makes the first million, us or Jim. No, lads,
my money's on Jim.
Yeah. You just said you believe in it.
I believe in Jim more. I dropped him off. Did you not have to give him some?
You didn't 5 years ago.
He's made up for that dropping in it.
I'm based there.
You deserve it. No, look, as episode 15, thanks for tuning in. We'll be on a week's break, so don't forget to come back in 2 weeks' time. Jim, thanks a million. Johnny, thanks a million. We're All About the Game podcast in association with Clinched. You can download our podcast wherever you get it. We're there. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, Podge, and best of luck, Jim.
Thanks, lads.
Thanks, lads.